Hi, my name's Dee and welcome to Untitled Tarot and welcome to your new moon readings for the new moon in Cancer, 10th of July GMT, like really early in the morning, 1 in the morning, so 9th of July for a lot of the rest of the world. Now, as ever, this is a bulk introduction. I'm going to discuss a little about the moon beforehand because, oh God, I've got so much to say. But there is a timestamp in the description down below if you want to fast forward to your reading or if you are watching more than one. Because I would say, as ever, watch your sun, your rising, and your moon, to be honest. But the moon one is sort of a more internal process, or at least one would assume. But the other thing with this is a general reading. General reading rules apply, so timing's not absolute. If someone else appears in the reading, you can get them mixed up because I'm seeing actions and energies. I don't put a lot of stock in that, but I can see how it can happen. But more importantly, what I would like you to do is ask a question. Now, if you don't have one yet, watch my little waffle about the moon, and that might inspire one. But if you are aware of one, pause the video if you need to. Think about all of the questions that are around you at the moment and focus on one of them. But be aware of all of them because cards will answer what they want. There's, obviously, as a YouTube channel, please hit that like button while you're here, or if you like my analysis of the moon and the new moon events, let's put it that way, then hit that subscribe button. There will be more and they are only going to get better because, as I say, I am not an astrologer. I am learning this stuff, but my God, it doesn't end and it's fascinating. So I want to thank you to all returning subscribers, and also point out that I will be doing a show with astrologer David Fisher about the astrology from a Hellenistic, with David from a Hellenistic astrology point of view. And just remember, it's a general reading I'm about to do here. Don't give away your power. If the reading is for you, which there's a past and a present always, well, actually this time it's more of just a present. But if the present doesn't fit, don't try and make it fit. Now, this time I've been led to use the Steampunk Tarot. Now, I've actually got 3 decks called the Steampunk Tarot, but this is a big box one from Tuttle by John and Caitlin Matthews. And the more I work with this particular deck, the more interesting it gets because it's got elements of, whereas the in-between tarot has sort of the space in between each card, this one, the minor arcana seem to be combinations, like a combination of wands and pentacles, or a combination of cups and swords, or a combination of the other 2 ways of doing it, which my brain's gone completely blank for a second there. But anyway, like I say, if you're wanting to get a personal reading from me, there is a link in the Facebook, in the description, a link for the Facebook page down below. Let's get my words in order. You can contact me there directly because it has got an inbox. There's a link tree down there if you prefer another way. Facebook's really the best way to do it. Right, let's get on about this moon. You'll have to forgive me. I'm going to stop looking at the camera. I'm not used to having it quite so close. So as I look at the screen, you're going to really notice the difference. So this new moon is occurring in 18 degrees Cancer, 18 degrees and 1 minute. So there's an element of numerology 9, rebirth, or at least I always see 9 as rebirth. If you think about how you collapse numbers in numerology, the 9 always disappears, but it's always there. It never really leaves. It's like this supreme force behind each number. Now, 18 degrees Capricorn is within the arc of the angel Yael, or the Goetic spirit Ipos. Let me just change pages so I've got the notes up here, and of course I haven't written anything about Epos. That was clever of me. But by day it is ruled by the Goetic spirit Goujon, or by night Vual. Now Vual reveals the past, the present, and the future. You know, he reconciles enemies and brings love to a relationship. In medieval, wonderfully sexist speak, it says the love of a woman to a man. He creates friendships and ensures esteem. He knows all and can manipulate time. That I'm, if you've seen my videos before, you know I'm fascinated with what time is on a spiritual level as well as a physics level and everything. Now, the themes that I'm pulling from this new moon, you know how I say that I don't like doing relationship readings. Well, astrology and this new moon has told me to wind my neck in, because this new moon's very much about partnerships. It's in Cancer, it's about the home and family, but it's all forms of partnerships. So between you and a significant other, between you and your friends, between you and your rulers, elected representatives, however you want to say it. And there's a lot of themes about research, and this is all seen in the symbols for 18 degrees Cancer. But just in having a look at the partnerships theme to start off with, in the Astrology Hub podcast, Anne Ortley pointed out that Juno, the wife of Jupiter, the planet of marriage vows, you know, among other things, is retrograde at the moment and is on the South Node. So traveling in the same direction as the South Node. It's funny that Jupiter's gone retrograde, but Juno was already there. Jupiter's there, going back, chasing after her. And Anne said that this would indicate that there could be quite a few partnerships coming to an end. There's more on that, because Saturn is opposite the asteroid Hera, who, again, that's the Greek form of Juno. So again, there's the matter of vows and marriage and loyalty, opposing Saturn, where Saturn is strong and likes to say no. So there's that element of, yeah, I'm not doing this anymore. This vow, this contract, this agreement, it's not serving us. We need to do it differently. Now, I'm not saying that that means things are coming to an end, just the way things have been going so far is coming to an end. That can be good. It doesn't necessarily mean a massive breakup, because Chiron, is it still in Aries or is it in Taurus? I think it's in Taurus now. Let me just check with my chart that's up. I'm sure it's in Taurus. Yes, it is. Right, so Chiron in Taurus is parallel. Now, parallels work like a conjunction. Chiron in Taurus is parallel Orpheus and Vesta. So there's wounding and healing and instruction to be had regarding the matters of unrequited love with Orpheus, and diving into the underworld, of course. And with Vesta, matters about the home. And you need to check the other astrologer videos about, especially Anastasia, Cosmic Astrologer, for a real in-depth look at Vesta during this new moon period. Sappho. Now, Sappho was a poet in ancient Greece, and she was a servant of Aphrodite. She's, as an asteroid, is very much about artistic abilities, sexual expression, and in Aquarius, Sappho likes to shock. Now, bear in mind that this, for the shock element, this Mars square Uranus, although the actual square is fading now, it's like 3.5 degrees going on 4 degrees arc, Mars is still parallel. So there's that Mars conjunct Uranus energy going on through the parallel. And we saw, wasn't it, January the 6th, that was Mars conjunct Uranus. So there's certainly energy for one partner to shock another. But with Chiron's presence with the Orpheus and Vesta, this can be a a healing thing. That healing thing is also we are enveloped. Um, Apollo, I forget what sign Apollo is because I haven't written it down here. But Apollo is opposing Aesculapia, which I'm assuming represents Aesculapius. So there's the god of healing, and then his, I think he's Asclepius, sorry, is his grandson. And he was given to be the earthly expert on healing by Apollo. So with those opposing one another, they're both working towards healing, and I don't think that they're actually working at odds against one another. They are enveloping the whole zodiac in a way of creating the opportunity for some healing. Now, if we look at the symbols, the Sabian symbol, Cancer 19, because 18 degrees Cancer is the 19th degree of Cancer, a priest performing a marriage ceremony. And it talks about the ritualization of productive interpersonal relationships. But also, another interpretation that I was reading talks about how marriage is, in a way, a tool of civilization to promote some form of conformity. Civilization promotes conformity to bring all facets of light into alignment. Before civilization began to take shape, there weren't any priests, ceremonies, or contracts for sexual relations. Civilization actually, by its very nature, promotes conformity, and it can create bondage and deny individuality. It is structured by laws and moral codes with penalties. So this is something that you can take advantage of, or here may well be something that will get challenged with that Mars-Uranus energy, because it's interesting that Mars being semi-sextile the moon, they can't officially see one another when they're next to one another like that. So it's quite possible that they will be working not necessarily at cross purposes, but pursuing totally different agendas. Now, I also want to say that there's a big note about research. Let me see, the Charabel degree is a man with a very old looking book before him. It has the appearance of Sonic Ancient Record. I think that might be a misprint here that I've got, but that's what it says, Sonic Ancient Record. But the book denotes a studious person, and 18 degrees Cancer, if you have that in your chart. It can denote a studious person, a profound thinker, one capable of grappling with abstruse studies. And it's study for the sake of study rather than study in order to publish or to be heard or to be a renowned expert. But there's a lot of expertise getting unleashed. This is backed up by the Kosminski degree symbol, which is an old man sitting alone in semi-darkness with an old book before him from which emanate bright rays of light. So there's this search for the truth within this 18 degrees Cancer degree, which I think is absolutely beautiful and very, very needed, especially during this time where partnerships and agreements are, well, astrologically under pressure. But if you look at the relationship of the moon to the rulers, the south node is being ruled by Jupiter. Jupiter is strong at the moment. It's in Pisces, it's at home, but it's starting to move retrograde. It's like the last gasp of this period of Jupiter in Pisces. And that implies, I think we'll be discussing this with David, but it implies that leadership can be doubted, that there can be a lot of force from the people of wanting to know the true facts, but again with a healing level, because I've just noticed as I'm going through this, the Safarial degree symbol, now I don't know what that first word is, and escutcheon Right, I don't know what an escutcheon is. I'm assuming it is some form of shape containing a harp and a gauntlet. Now, I'm really drawn to that harp because that's the symbol of Apollo. That's the symbol that Apollo uses. Okay, that's with his music, but harp, lyre, it's reinforcing that influence of Apollo. And Apollo is also a god of truth, which reinforces those other degree symbols I was saying. So here, the Safario degree symbol says it denotes a person of noble aspirations and refined tastes. As an interpreter of others' works, he would shine. In the character, there is a particular mixture of gentleness and irritability, of playfulness and gravity, which can render the native of this degree more difficult to deal with. So that's from a natal interpretation, but we're seeing this same vibration of let's get to the truth, let's check all the agreements, and let's cancel the ones that are useless and cancel the ones that are rubbish. Now, if that has not, because I could talk for a lot longer about this, but if that has not given you fuel for a question, if you didn't have one already, then well, I don't know what will. Because we're always, it's human nature, isn't it? Is this partnership good for me? Whether it's between us and our employer, our partner, our leaders. I mean, hell, we get to test that ever so often, hopefully, while voting rights, well, when voting rights are available. So ask your question, take that moment. Thank you very much for watching so far and watching my blurb. And if you have any comments on the reading or on the astrology aspect, well, astrology, then comment down below. I always try to respond as fast as I can, so you get a response within a day. Anyway, I think I've talked for long enough. I'll bring up the cards. Okay, Capricorn, there's a few messages here, and also this may well be a love reading. It could be easily a relationship reading. And I'll show you why, because it shows you stuck in your own head for the time being, but in a good way. We start with the Four of Airships, Four of Swords. So in a healing time, having some clear air come into your mind, having some rest and recuperation and meditation, and you're very much aware of the safety in your own company at the moment. Nine of Leviathans, so Nine of Pentacles. But notice on this one, even though that's Nine of Pentacles, there's two people in that little roller thing. So I rather feel there's a sense of going it alone, but not entirely alone, but you have to really be careful. One of your enemies at the moment is your own imagination. However, having said that, from the Energy Oracle cards, we start with Woman Holding a Coin. Now, this card, there's a Queen of Pentacles vibe. There's definitely Venusian energies in the idea of value and love to an extent. I mean, the expression on this lady's face is like, yeah, I've got my coin, and it looks like she's weighing the, well, in this case, me, the reader or the querent, up to go, do you think you're capable of looking after this coin? Will you be a safe person to introduce to the mysteries of this coin? It also indicates some form of, can indicate a form of financial success, abundance, success in business, all that sort of thing. But there's that wonderfully nurturing aspect, but there's also that sense of something different. I'm really drawn to the black cat sat beside, well, you can't really see it very well there. The black cat sat beside her. that sense of there's deeper mysteries to be unveiled here. And then that is clarified by the Caring Connections card. So that can indicate new people coming into your life that will be an important relationship or a deepening of a relationship that's already around. Together with that abundance and that level of new mysteries, there's a sense of initiation here, but you have been deliberately being given the time to look within and something's going on, to look within and stand in your own beliefs, in your own psychic environment, and to go straight into your feelings. We have the moon voyage here. This is basically moon card, but it's saying yes, go into your feelings. So maybe I would say bit of housekeeping. Some of those feelings that are they still serving you? Are they still relevant? Bear in mind, under the influence of the moon, things can get distorted, and this is why your imagination can be your enemy here. But Spirit's bringing in action, but that action is going to take a while to manifest, I feel. We've got Messenger of Engines here at the top, which to me is a combination. It's supposed to be Page of Wands, but I rather see it as sort of a mix between Page of Wands and Page of Pentacles. Options are coming up for you, but you need to have that stock take first. And with it being Moon Voyage, I'm led to think about all those 1950s black and white sci-fi movies where there's one in particular, I've no idea what it's called. It's probably called Voyage to the Moon, for all I know. You're going to a whole new world. But that is through the sense of going through your feelings first. Because you've had a new beginning started, a material new beginning. We've got Ace of Leviathans, which is basically Ace of Pentacles. That's as an Ace of Pentacles, it's a new beginning card. As the Ace of Leviathans, I'm wanting to say that there's stable resources to hand. We also have Malkut from the Angelarium. So there's bringing things down into the real world. But while you're going on this deep inner voyage, where imagination can be an obstacle for you, you are learning to find your true north. This is the compass card from the Enchanted Map. And there is very much a sense of, this is why I've got that housekeeping vibe, because somewhere along the lines here you want victory. Six of Engines, so Six of Wands. In the hopes and fears section, I'm not sure the term victory is even relevant here. I think what I want to give with that Six of Engines is more a sense of perspective, or of gaining height to gain perspective, I think is a better way of putting it. Because we finish with the Eight of Airships, which should be the Eight of Swords, but that's not how I feel about it at all. There's someone stood on the prow of a airship, looking into this world of cloud that it's ploughing through. And there's that sense of leaving previous stresses behind. So all in all, this is really quite positive, but there's a lot of navel gazing here, and you need to crack on and get on with the navel gazing. Basically, there's because there does seem to be this positive influence around you that will magnetize itself to you if you are following your own true north. And there will be plenty of opportunity for you to get distracted away from that true north with lots of options coming in, and a lot of them offering something secret and something hidden. So you can go for an option that indicates it has something secret or something hidden, and still have gone for the wrong one. So you need to know that true north here. But you have the ability to figure it out. We have Lekabel here with intellectual talent. This idea of the Six of Engines, you're wanting the perspective to see where a better place is. And I want to say that maybe it's more important to make the place where you are better rather than heading to a better place. Over all of this, the Angel of Harmony. You are supported in this process. So, as I say, a lot of navel gazing, good news at the end of it, plenty of options coming at the end of it. I do feel that you get to sail off into the sunset with leaving some cares behind you, but you are going totally into unknown territory. And like I say, there is a potential relationship coming up, big R or little r. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be a romantic relationship. It could be a friendship, a work relationship that's going to be quite caring and significant for you coming up. I mean, if you think about it, I meant to say this at the start of the reading and I totally forgot. If you are Capricorn rising, because don't forget, always watch your rising sign, then this new moon is happening in your seventh house, your house of partnerships. If you are Capricorn sun, it is putting a spotlight on all the feelings about your sense of identity. If you're Capricorn moon, I'm not sure I know enough to say about that one, but I would imagine that it has would give you the ability to feel things different than what you normally would, if that makes sense. So anyway, in all of that, there's navel gazing going on. There's that deep introspection. So stick to your true north and allow this process to unfold. Give it the time, give it the energy. That's everything. That's everything that I've got to see here, Capricorn. So if it means anything to you, it's a bit woolly, I know, but if it means anything to you, please do comment down below. It is always good to know when these readings have hit the the ears of the people that they're meant for. Hit the minds, I suppose. In the meantime, as I said, go and watch your moon, go and watch your rising, and there'll be a link down below for the astrology look at the new moon with David Fisher. Yeah, and my brain just went blank there. Can you tell? Okay, I'm going to shut up talking now. Cheers.